Hello, everyone. This is Dave Johnson, channeling the Man in the Moon. I want to take a look at a political topic today. Now, I was thinking of something else, but Jim Jordan's face keeps popping into my mind just as I'm getting started here, and I'd be glad to get rid of such an image. So we're just going to find out what's he up to and what the Republicans are up to, and what the outcome will be. Will they succeed? I'm getting the McCarthy, the leader of the Republicans, um, in the house, I guess. Yeah. And let's see, he's just scratching his head. He doesn't know what to do. He's like, like he and all the, others are getting together and they're like rubbing, what can we do? What can we do? Now I just there's no intent on benefiting the American people here. It's just politicking. And, that's obviously what politicians do. We can't hold it against them that they do look at political angles. But at the same time, there isn't any regard for the American people. Oh, I just got this great image. There's these rivers and lakes that are losing water. So this is a serious crisis that is going to affect the West, Nevada, California, and also I even noticed that the Mississippi River is drying up. This is really important stuff. We can't function without water. So I'm seeing a specific lake and it just getting drier and drier and drier, and they're getting to the point of absolute crisis. So it's like the Republicans aren't doing anything to address that. They're denying the crisis. In no way are they setting things up to benefit the Americans. This is a problem that they will not address. And this seems very symbolic to me. You can only function on hot air for so long. When the farmers of Mississippi do not have any water, the person who is able to solve that problem, or at least approach solving that problem, is going to be the one that they listen to. Are they really going to care about pronouns when they don't have water for their farm? That's just to notice this is a losing strategy long term. In the short term, they had, 4 years of exploding televisions. Now they literally do not know what to do. And they've all been mean to each other, right? So the leaders of the Republican Party, the original sort of old guys, ladies that have been around for a while, they didn't do they don't have any more input. They've run out of ideas. So let's see if we can get rid of Jim Jordan's face. Okay. He's just that nasty. Let's see that nasty guy in high school, that mean, backstabby kind of guy who, talks trash and then runs behind the team, that kind of guy. And he's the kind of guy who tries to act likable, but everybody knows who he really is and dislikes him. And he's got that kind of loud mouth, I'm a real mensch. He's not that guy though. It's interesting though, because everybody knows that. I suspect that even in high school, people did not trust him. What's he gonna do? So I see a column, and this is like a Greek column, like the columns in front of the White House or I think this Senate has columns too. And those columns, I see him breaking one, and or it's just breaking in front of him, and it's like a pillar. This is pillar of what he's supposed to be doing, a pillar of government, and it's broken. And as he stands there and he observes it breaking, he just goes, that's interesting. What can I get out of this? Truly, in the past few years, we have seen the um, validity of our government to some degree collapse because people no longer believe what a judge decides. People no longer trust the decisions made by the Supreme Court. The fundamental rules of our society have been undermined, and it threatens the building. Again, Jordan doesn't really care. He's just standing outside, like, well, maybe you want to call the fire department, but I'm not going to call him, right? It's like, I don't want to get involved, but it doesn't work very well because he keeps looking as scants. It's like at a parking lot, and the parking lot is like kind of got the real people there, like the earthy American people. They're not members of an elite. And they're like, hey, look, it's breaking. It's falling apart. It's collapsing. Aren't you going to do anything? And again, he's just kind of like, what do you want me to do? These trials that they're going to put on, these sort of show trials where they're going to investigate all the people that investigated Trump, where they're going to investigate the border and the problems at the border, they don't really move anyone. We've been hearing this stuff for years. We've been hearing these fake investigations, Hillary Clinton, Benghazi, 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 all of those were fake. And now they provided a lot of stuff for Fox News, but it did not really, maybe they had some effect before, but people are bored of that and they don't believe it anymore. And the same people who used to believe that stuff are starting to move out of the electric. They're passing on because they're older, or they have started to change their minds about Trump and the Republican Party, or they were people who were very cynical of Biden and cynical of the idea that government can do anything. And this is where is really important. Biden has the theory, the idea that Democrats have that the government should step in and should make changes. The government should protect your rights. The government should put money in certain places and motivate people to do certain jobs. And it's not about the Republican magic hand of capitalism is all going to be perfect without any kind of management. There's sort of these two styles, philosophies going on. Well, if you have the Republican philosophy, there's no hope for your water. It'll just be gone one day and you won't have any left. Whereas we're seeing from the Biden presidency, at this is working. The economy is doing quite well. The unemployment is down to 3.5%. It's the lowest since 1969. So whatever Biden's doing, insofar as we give any credit to a president, he's doing really, really, really well. This is what Americans are going to see. They're going to judge Biden on the economy in the next 2 years. That's that. He will, it really is putting forth these two ideas. And the idea that government can, should, maybe even must take a part in protecting our rights is really ascendant. A government is going to be more and more needed as we move into climate change. And fundamentally, Biden is not a bad person. No, I wouldn't say that for some other politicians. Fundamentally, Biden does want Americans to succeed. It's not about him. And it's surprising. It's like everybody around, even around Biden, is surprised at how well this is working. They're surprised at how well Biden's doing. I think that the opinions about Biden, his low ratings, will change dramatically. Let's get back to the Republicans. They're still scratching their heads. They don't have a plan. They don't have a platform. They don't have a strategy. They have these, issues, these hot and button emotional issues. Well, that's appealing to a smaller and smaller and smaller portion of people. Most people get up in the morning and they don't worry about drag queens. They get up in the morning and say, okay, I got to go to work. How much is this gas going to be? Am I going to lose my job? And is my teacher a good teacher for my kids? That's what moms care about. They don't care about his, hers, or whatever. They care about students graduating and being able to have a job and a normal life and be well treated. Yeah, Biden, I keep seeing on the ascendant. I don't see anything coming from the Republicans. And I saw this before with Biden. Something big is going to happen, some kind of major change. I'm hoping that it's, the war ends in Ukraine, and that really compels him in a certain direction. It could be that, but this is really going to help Biden. It will be a complete game changer for the Democratic Party. I do feel like that it will happen in the year. So again, let's pray for the people of Ukraine. And also let's pray for the people of Russia, because they didn't necessarily choose this war. Their leaders did. They're stuck fighting it. Now, let's not judge an entire race of people. It is the leaders who we might judge. So what else can we know about Republicans? They're just these people who are like waiting for a Biden misstep. It's like it's like there's an easy chair and there's a person with a dagger, and they're just waiting for someone to sit down. It's like stick it like right behind their back. But that's a poor strategy, right? And maybe that no one sits in the easy chair. And fundamentally, the Republicans have made the mistake of making this totally personal. It is not about policies. It's not about moving forward as a nation. It's about attacking someone personally. Isn't that what we saw under Trump for 4 years? Always the personal attack. A person could be the most awful person and still have great policies. They could have made mistakes in their lives and still have great policies and great administrative abilities. The Republicans have just focused on this sort of gossip, and it will not help them. Lots of infighting. They're battling each other. And, this is something that I mentioned in Biden's, when I was reading on Biden. Haley, that lady Haley, who used to, work for Trump, and she was this envoy to the UN, she is rising. Don't be surprised if she takes a more central role in the Republican nomination process. She's rising, and the Republicans are, from what I can see, gearing towards this new idea because they don't really have any other ideas. The idea of supporting a woman who's Republican is kind of new, right? And quite smart if you consider it. There are some people who will vote for her over a man because the men have shown up so badly. They might think, oh, well, Republican woman will be more centrist or something. I'm not saying you should vote for this woman, but I could see why they will gravitate towards her and away from Ron DeSantis, who's just another version of Trump, not nearly as quick on his feet, just affecting the media in the way that he can as a governor. So again, I'll just final say I see like Biden is stepping out. He like literally looks at the planet and sees the intricacy of how it works. He might not be so appealing as a speaker, but he does have a really decent worldview, and he does have experience. There's something about 3 years or something. He will be perceived quite differently in 3 years. I'm not doing a reading on whether he's going to run or win in the election, but something about 3 years, it's almost like a final blow to the Republican Party or Republican leaders. Thanks so much for watching.